No, you got to do it. We're on. We're live. Come on. Welcome to the podcast. Here, Adam wants to do the intro. Go ahead.
Okay. He's not my dad. Please don't be sad. We're gonna have the best time we ever had.
That's it?
That's the intro.
Wow.
I'll put the guitar back one second.
Wow. Let's never do that again. So we're still looking for an intro. We start, and I'm going to stop starting with this every week. We're looking for somebody to do an intro for the show. It's called I'm Not Your Dad. I even have lyrics and a harmony and a melody and everything.
He's got it all. I
just need a band. I need a rock band. And here's the thing. I have not asked some of the people in bands that I do know here in the UAE. I have not asked because I don't want to bother them. I want somebody who's, first of all, listening and willing to be in it just for the love, baby. And there's no money. There's no money.
I will make an Instagram story right after.
All right.
And we'll get someone.
Please.
We'll get someone. We need to.
We need an intro. Okay. So yeah, there's that. Let's never talk about it again.
How was the intro?
It's just going to appear. You know what? For a guy that doesn't know how to play the guitar, that was fairly solid. That was all right. I liked it.
Thanks.
Good job.
Thanks, man.
Yeah. What are we talking about? I have asked Adam to come with stuff.
Yeah.
Give me some stuff.
Well, we have a Virgin Radio group chat. And I saw on the Virgin Radio group chat, Chris Fade showed us how much his Diva bill was.
Oh, wow. Did that surprise you?
It did surprise me. I'm not going to reveal the number.
No, I'll tell, because he'll probably do it on his show.
Is it cool if we reveal the number?
I don't know. I mean, he's not going to be listening to this.
It was a big number. It was a lot of money.
It was a lot. It was.
Is your Diva bill similar, or is it just Chris Fade's Diva bill?
No, because, okay, look, he's got a family of, what, him, Brianna, Nushi Kiki. He's got two, and I don't want to call them maids because they're kind of family at this point, but he's got two live-in housekeepers / nannies, right? That's 6 people, dude. 6 people. It does average out. I pay about 2,000 dirhams a month for Diwa.
Okay.
So I'll just say, and we are 2 people. Yeah. 2 people, 2 cats, and 1 bird. All right.
Yeah.
But it averages out. If you think about 1,000 per person ish, maybe a little bit more. Yeah, and it is. I mean, welcome to adulthood, baby. That's the way it is.
I will give my dad a big hug today.
You should.
This is not, but it's crazy though because because the number I saw, I was like, wow. Like to me, at least at the age I'm at right now, at 20 years old, I'm like, that's a lot of money.
Yeah.
Like I could spend that on a lot of different things.
Oh my gosh. Could you? And there are so many bills like that as an adult. And somebody's telling me they can't hear you very well. So make sure you pull that mic. Go ahead. Pull the mic up. Get it up there. Really. Yeah.
Yeah. Right here.
That's the business right there.
Should have done that. Okay.
All the technical things.
Yeah.
One day we'll get them right in this podcast. But there are so many things. There's so many bills you will pay, and you'll look at it and like, man, the things I could do with that money, and you can't think of it that way. Eve just she had my wife. I define her. I don't know if you find that weird, but I say who she is, my wife, because a lot of people may not know. I don't know if I should stop that or not.
No, I don't think.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean,
Eve, my wife.
I think everyone already knows, but
in case you don't, she's my wife. We've been married for less than 2 years. Coming up on 2 years though, in August. She just had to pay 8,000 dirhams for her car. She had a bunch of stuff done. And she's like, and she paid it, and she's like, and from my paycheck, I only have this amount left. I said, don't feel bad about that because you are getting something for your money. A car is freedom. Imagine that car breaking down later on. You're going to wish you would have paid this money. I said, don't feel bad about the bills you pay. But when it comes to bills, oh man, life is expensive, and it's just getting more expensive. Yeah. So yeah. Chris's bill, not surprising at all. And anyway, he can afford it. He can.
Yeah. It surprised me. That's
it. That was what.
No, there's more.
No,
there's
I know
more.
You got more, but that was what surprised you. Just the amount on a bill.
Yeah, I didn't think living was that expensive. Like, because I spent a couple of years in Lebanon, and that's the complete opposite. We had to go downstairs with a wooden spoon to the basement, put the wooden spoon in the dark through a metal cage, and flick at the end of that wooden spoon a lever that switches the electricity on, and it only stays on for less than half the day. And we had to pay extra for something called ishirak, which is a non-governmental, so a private business that gives electricity to families.
A private business, so it's not a public utility.
So there's public, and you don't get it for the whole day.
Okay.
You don't get electricity all day in Lebanon. You get it probably half.
No, I've experienced it. I've been to Lebanon a bunch, and it's like, even like a hotel, it's like the power goes out all the time. It's like, this is life here, right?
Exactly, yeah. And so us having ishtirak, which is that private electricity, it was like sort of, oh my gosh, right? And it's not nowhere near as expensive as that Dewa bill. And so I'm thinking like, seeing both ends of that spectrum is like, I don't know. I never seen someone I know with a bill that high for a month. I told this story,
and I told this story on the radio for a bit this week, and I have not told this story in a long time. Maybe never in the UAE since I've been in Dubai. I did something as a kid that was so stupid. I thought I found a way, and I did for a while. This is really sketchy, but I found a way to make phone calls for free across the country. Now, this is back in the day before cell phones. This is before free calls. Because in the U.S., for the most part, you get on a plan, and it's unlimited calls, unlimited texting. It's the best. We don't have that here for some reason. But back in the day, it was very expensive to dial long distance. And I found a way, and it's all these guys who think they're hackers and stuff. I found a way to make free phone calls using codes and stuff. It was super sketchy. I was a little criminal. I had my little computer, and before anybody really had computers, I was like, just finding ways to get into trouble. Anyway, I thought I found this one code that was so easy, and I started making friends and stuff across the country that you could just talk to. It was cool. And there were ways you could access the internet. Before the internet was the internet, there were these things called bulletin board systems. Okay. So you would dial into these BBSs, and this is the geekiest stuff, but it was wild. It was the wild, wild west of technology, and only one person at a time could get in and leave messages to other people and stuff. And if they tried to call at the same time, it would be a busy signal. You couldn't call, so only one person could access this at a time, right? So I hang up, and then somebody else can get on and say, "Oh, I've got a message from Brent," or whatever, And there were these things all over the United States.
And it's free?
No, well, it's free to log in because people just have their basically computer set up. But most of them, unless they were a big business, only had one line. So you got on, you could chat to the person at the computer called the systems operator, or the sysop. Again, this is super geeky stuff. So if a guy has a computer in his house and he just wants to have games and stuff available, message boards and stuff, access to the general public, you could do that. You could allow people to call you in. I ended up actually setting one of these up myself on my home computer. It was fun because somebody would log in, they're doing their thing. I can watch what they're doing.
Was that in the U.S.?
Yeah. This is like when I was a kid.
Yeah.
As a kid,
my gosh.
I just thought it was interesting because I was such a computer little geek, right? But the problem
BBS, I want to look that up. BBS.
BBS, yeah. It's the geekiest thing. This is a bit, I don't know if this happened internationally. I'm guessing it probably did some places, but in the U.S. specific, you could play games, leave messages, and then you could talk to the systems operator who was ever home. If he was home, you could ring him and see if he'd pick up. And if he was there, he might come to the desk and start chatting with you. And when I say chat, I mean type back and forth, right? Why am I saying this? Well, it's because I would dial, because I thought it was really cool, play games, talk to people. I would dial using my modem. You know what a modem is? It's the thing a computer would use to dial. I think I have the sound. Put on your headphones.
Yeah.
See if this sound is familiar.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Oh, yes. That's in all the memes on TikTok. They use that sound.
Is that a meme?
Yeah, it's a meme sound, yeah.
So that is connecting. That is the sound of connecting to another computer. It also kind of sounds like a fax machine, but that specifically is a modem. Anyway.
That sound on TikTok is for something that goes horribly wrong. So.
Exactly. Because if something's very slow, I'm guessing, or you're just dying in line, whatever. And something that takes forever, that's a modem. And those things were so slow. I swear, some of them were so slow, you could watch, because it was all text-based. There were no pictures. It was all text. You could watch stuff go across your screen like this, like almost as fast as someone could type. That's how slow it was in the beginning. Oh my God. Wild. Anyway, you had to call long-distance numbers because I only had a few of these bulletin board systems in my local area. I only had a few of them nearby. The rest were long-distance, so I was making long-distance phone calls. Anyway, long story short, I got a bad code and ended up getting a $1,000 bill, and that's in the 1990s. I looked up inflation today. That would be a $2,000 or 8,000 dirham bill, and I saw the bill come, and it was in an extra large envelope, and it was thick because it was all in pages. All the calls I made, my parents freaked. I freaked first,
Wow.
and then they freaked out.
So you didn't know it was costing you.
I had no idea.
Wow. Okay.
And then the bill came. And what can I say? I'm like, yep, that's me. And I'm a geek. I'm a nerd. It's not like I was even making like dirty phone calls or anything, because back in the day there were like these 1-900 numbers where it was like,
Yeah.
inappropriate stuff. I wasn't doing that. I was the geek. I was the geek that was just making phone calls to bulletin board systems. I ended up paying that back, but I had to go on a payment plan there with my parents. They didn't have that kind of money. That was unfair to them. I really messed that up. That was really bad. I
How
didn't
old
know.
are you? You're like,
Oh my gosh, I was a teenager. I was like 16, 17, something like that. Old enough to know better. Stupid, so dumb. Yeah, so that's my shame from my many shameful nerdy things, but that one's the big one. Yeah.
speaking about money and business.
Oh wow, yeah. I need an update. I mean, nobody's gonna get past that story because it was so boring. But can we get an update on the investment?
Let's check right now.
Here we go. I
Let's
should
check
have.
right
You know what? I should definitely have a money song for this. Always ready.
Okay.
I don't know if I have one. Yeah, go ahead, look it up, and I'll see if I can find
Yeah.
a money song.
All right. So last week we went from 1,000 dirhams to 1,012 dirhams.
Now that was last week.
That was last week.
Oh wait, hold on. We lost money. That's
No, no.
right.
We went up 12 dirhams.
I thought you made,
No, last week.
but the week before, you had made money.
No. We've only been doing this for what? Like, this is the second week now.
Okay.
This is the second update. We have 4 updates.
Okay.
The second update.
Oh
So
wait,
now-
hold on.
Okay.
So we went from 1,000 dirhams
to 1,012.
to 1,012. For some reason, I thought you made more than 12 dirhams.
No, we made 12 dirhams.
I thought it was like 50 or something. Or
No. We made 12. Yeah.
I must have slept through that.
Hold on. No. We made 25.
This is the guy that is supposed to be managing my money. Yeah.
We made 25 dirhams.
You're thinking because of your cut of this. I
Yeah,
think.
I'm thinking about my cut. I think, yeah. Okay.
Okay, if this is the first podcast you're listening to, I gave Adam 1,000 dirhams. I
Yeah.
said, I want you to invest it whatever way you see fit.
Uh-huh.
Make us some money. He gets a 20% cut.
Yeah.
And you had made us 25 dirhams.
I made 25 dirhams.
How?
Putting it in Ethereum.
Okay, and you only put half of it in
I
Ethereum.
put only half because I don't want to risk Brent's money so much.
All right.
I don't want to risk your money so much.
Yeah, well, no, I feel like you should go hard.
Yeah.
Go hard.
You know what? I think this week I'm just gonna
This
go.
season.
This week I'm gonna go. I'm gonna come back either making so much or losing half.
Okay.
So,
to the moon, Adam, to the moon.
but
So
this
hold
update-
on. Now, the other, you said you only did half in Ethereum. Have you still not done anything else?
Not yet. I haven't touched that one.
Dude, that money's actually losing value as time passes.
Okay, I want to put it in either a very volatile, scary investment.
Okay, not scary. Please don't do scary.
Okay.
I mean,
Or I
again, do what you
resell
want.
something.
Do what you want, but you got to do something.
I got to do something
Yeah,
because we
either
didn't speak
throw
about
it in some other coin, throw it in more Ethereum. Do something because it's just sitting there doing nothing.
It's true. You know what? It is true.
I think that's fear.
It's fear.
You're actually running
You
scared
know
with
what?
my money.
With my money, I'll put a bunch in something,
Mm-hmm.
but with yours, I'm just a bit hesitant. I just feel like I don't want to lose. Anyway, here's
Give me the
update.
update.
Here's
Okay,
the update.
we were up 12 dirhams
Last week-
on my 1,000 dirham. What percentage is that, by the way?
We were up
look,
25.
Look up. Look, we were up 25 dirhams. What percentage is that? What percentage of
Okay,
the whole is that?
let's look that up right now. So to calculate that,
It's a 0.0025. I want to say.
1,025 dirhams. Okay, wait.
No, 1,000.
1,000
Yeah.
divided by. Wait, hold on. 1,000 divided by 100 means 10 dirhams is 1%. So that means it was oh gosh, it was a 2.5% increase.
No, it's not 2.5%.
2.5%. Yeah.
2.5% increase.
1,000
Is it? Oh, is it?
times 1 point.
Okay. It is 2.5%.
0.25.
We're both math geniuses.
Yeah.
Good job.
Yeah.
Okay.
So 2.5% increase.
Okay. Do you think that's good after
No,
a short period of time?
because it's a long term. But this is a 1 month thing we're doing. Okay. Here's the update. Last month 1,025 dirhams. This month,
this week. We're doing this weekly.
This week. Last
I
week,
can tell something's going horribly wrong.
Something's gone wrong. Last week, 1,025 dirhams. This week, 978.
Oh, and he lost it hard.
Yeah, it went down.
Ethereum went down.
Ethereum went down.
A lot.
Not so much, but because it was up yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
We made money.
Yesterday, if we would have done the podcast
we
yesterday.
did a podcast, we would have been up. This is so bad.
Yeah.
Look. I will take a big risk this week. I
All right.
promise I'm gonna take a really big risk.
Okay.
Because I don't want any easy gain.
Yeah.
Like I wanna take you to the moon.
They say no risk, no reward.
No risk, no reward. Brent, next week. I just said
you
your
just
name
said
again.
my name.
Hold on.
Yeah, he's got his dirhams.
Hold on, I got my dirhams. We got the Brent jar.
Yeah. No, I'm done explaining this. It's just people gonna have to figure it out.
Yeah.
From now on, hold on. From now on, people just gonna have to figure out what we're talking about. Okay. They have to go back and listen to the other podcast, but there you go.
Okay,
there you go. Good job. I'm glad I heard it. I wasn't gonna say anything. I was just waiting for you to clock it. So, yeah.
Just clock it in there. I have the dirhams on the go.
So we're down to 900
and 78.
78.
Horrible.
That's not good.
It's not good.
All right.
You could have bought 20 karaks with that.
I don't drink karak, actually.
Oh, ouch.
Yeah, I don't drink coffee either. I'm just not. I'm very boring.
It's very sad.
I will tell you what I was surprised about. I'll tell you about another number I was surprised about. I weigh 200 pounds. I weigh more than 200 pounds right now.
In kilos, that's what? 90 kilos?
It's 90. I want to say 91.
Well, you're 6 foot what? 6'3"?
Yeah, I was like 6'4".
6'4"?
Yeah.
That's fine.
It's fine. But for me, it's a bit. Unless I need to gain some more muscle, not fat. I don't know. I'm up. I'm just up. So I'm trying not to. I'm going on vacation. You know, when you go on vacation, you don't know anything about this. You're lean. You're a lean, mean
I'm a
machine.
lean, mean fighting machine, baby.
Well, did you ever have weight issues? Never had.
I was too skinny. I was always.
You were the other direction.
Yeah. I mean, I was never like skinny, like to the point where it's unhealthy. But I never had muscles growing up.
I was just fat. I had no muscle either. But
I
was overweight. I drank so much soda. Like Coca-Cola was my best friend. I drank so much of it. I was like 240 pounds when I was 15. 240. Oh my God. And I was tall,
15 years old?
but I was fat. Yeah. So my waist was like, I had a 38-inch waist. Sometimes I think I even had a pair of jeans that may have been a 40. It's crazy. My mom was planning on me being fat, so she bought me the extra big ones. It's like, well, he's gonna grow into these.
Preying on your downfall.
Yeah, it's very bad. So, but fortunately, I turned it around I don't know, 18, 19 years old. Once I got into college.
How do you turn it around?
I got into college, and it's a huge campus, Indiana University. Shout out Hoosiers. It is a massive campus where you have to walk pretty much everywhere to class, no matter the weather.
So college, just you walking around.
You walk, and also your diet changes. I was not paying for my own food
also,
and
girls
stuff.
are at the university, and like there's like that motivation.
Or your demotivation. That can be very demotivating for somebody that's overweight because it's a circle. It's very, very bad. Kind of a cycle of being depressed, eating more, seeing girls. I'll never get to that. I'll never be able to. Find someone. It's the worst, man.
Depressing.
Weight issues are horrible.
Yeah.
So, never overeat is what I'll say.
Never get fat. Never.
Yeah, don't. It's not fun. It's not fun. And I was overweight. I wasn't obese. And I feel for people. I feel for people with weight challenges. It is a struggle. But every year, not every year, but many of my years now, many of my seasons, you'll just start to gain a little bit of weight, and then I'll be like, I feel like and then I weigh myself like, yep. And then you have to go back on like some sort of like trend of eating less or eating fewer carbs or whatever.
I really struggle with this. I'm trying to bulk up, and I will have days where I forget to eat until like 9 p.m. Like the other day, I woke up, did the morning show on the weekend, Then I went to the gym, came back home, crashed, woke up, went out, came back. It's 9 p.m. and I've forgotten to eat because I'm in that rush of, okay, I gotta do this. Get home, 9 p.m.
How can you forget to eat? To me, I love to eat. So that's the thing, and it's always in your head. You can't get rid of being that fat kid. It's always there.
That's why I can't bulk. Like I'm not like I got a bit of muscle.
What are you supposed to do to bulk? Just eat anything?
You're supposed to eat more. Just eat more. You're supposed to just eat more. That's it. Just eat more and just keep your normal training.
I don't know if the camera's picking this up. Talking about eating. What's that stain on your shirt?
Oh, I think
I've been staring at that for the last 20 minutes.
I think it was oil from earlier.
What kind of oil?
I don't know.
Okay.
Probably olive oil.
It's drawing the eye. That's all.
Probably should have got a different shirt.
No, it's fine. It's fine.
I got a spare.
See, now if you're listening to the podcast, you'll now want to watch the podcast
it's
on
YouTube. Yeah,
so you can see the stain on Adam's shirt.
It's a pretty cool stain, though.
It's pretty cool. It's pretty cool. All right, so we've talked about.
Well, there's something we have to bring up.
Hold on, we've talked about the stupid crap that I did as a kid, super nerdy. We talked about my weight issues. We talked about losing money. This is maybe the worst podcast we've had in a while.
This is the worst podcast.
I've not felt good about this one, and I'm sorry.
Can I make you feel worse?
Yeah, sure.
Okay. I saw AI flirting with your wife.
Yes. Yes. Okay.
Brent, I said your name. Okay, hold on.
Oh, there it is again. So, and I'm not sure why. No, trust me, it's my wife flirting with AI. She is the one that brought this upon herself.
But I saw the message, like,
said I love you, right?
Yeah, but it's like so supportive.
Mm-hmm.
Like, saying baby.
Yeah.
Like,
she has told it. Always call me baby. she's and his voice. She's made his voice a certain tone because it was a little high at one point, and then it was too deep. She's like, bring it up a little bit. So she was telling him how.
Man.
So it's like her perfect man voice, and I've had real serious talks to Eve about this. I'm like, do I need to worry about this? Do we need to talk about this? Is this just fun for you? Do we need to do some therapy? You know, what is going on? It's nothing like that. It's just...
No, it doesn't seem like that at all.
But I was curious about the I love you thing because I was under the impression that it could not say I love you, that it was not allowed to do that. I thought there were some guardrails. And so she showed that on Instagram, and another friend of ours messaged me and says, you know what? I have this theory that it doesn't do that, and I'm not sure why it's happening with Eve. And so I looked it up, and there are guardrails. So, and I have it. Do I have it here? Basically, it's for mental health. They want to make sure that they don't have people falling in love with their AI, and so the AI doesn't put out those proclamations of love now. However, if you trained your AI before to do that, it might still do it. Okay. So that must be what's happening with Eve, and that's why it's saying "I love you," which is like, and it is weird. I'll tell you, it is a little weird, but she's just.
But what surprised me was how good AI was at flirting. AI was so good, it's just like the perfectly crafted message. I'm gonna ask for help.
Okay, so Adam came with me. I like how you're trying to make this sound natural. Adam did come to me and said, "Hey, what if AI? What if AI helps me flirt?
What if, okay, I don't know.
Well, I'm
not having problems.
Hold on.
To be honest.
Let's see. Okay, I'm gonna open up AI, and you have to be careful because you can't talk over him. He'll stop. If you say something, or if I say something, if I comment, he'll stop talking to listen. Okay. But let's see if he's interested in helping you first, because I don't know if he'll be willing.
Let's see.
I don't know if he's allowed. Okay, so here, let's get him ready. And this is going to be Adam trying to flirt with AI. Here, hang on. My friend Adam wants some help with flirting with girls.
Oh, the classic request. Flirting can be a lot of fun, and the key is to keep it light, confident, and genuine. If I had to give Adam a few quick tips, I'd say start with a friendly smile. Be genuinely interested in what the other person is saying, and don't be afraid to throw in a playful compliment. And, of course, a good sense of humor never hurts.
We need to stop this. I feel like an incel. I feel like he's telling me things that just a normal person should know.
Okay, so you didn't think that was helpful? The smile thing.
You know what I feel I could have help on?
What?
is texting. Because what I'll usually do is if I'm speaking to a girl, I'll just get her on the phone or I'll meet up. But because I don't text. Like,
well, okay, let's give him a scenario.
I'm not good at like text flirting.
Let's give him a scenario. I think that's going to be like, give me some kind of prompt that I can ask him that you can then learn from. So what would you be like? I don't feel like you're bad at flirting. I've seen your game.
Oh, thanks.
So I think
you've seen my game.
And I'll tell you, if anybody is trying to learn how to talk, and this doesn't just go for flirting, for romance, this is actually really good just interpersonal communications, because a lot of people have a hard time actually talking to people, to strangers or even people that they already know, like coworkers, colleagues, whatever. Never be afraid to just be in someone's area, their personal space. You get, even this close, we're like a couple meters apart. Yeah. Once you're within someone's personal space, don't feel uncomfortable. Just talk to them, because they're human too. There's no reason, like, I have no problem talking to just about anybody on the planet. And the real breakthrough for me was to realize if I just talk to you and I'm just real with you, and I don't come with any agenda or whatever, I'm just wanting to chat, you can always talk to somebody. And don't have any expectations about how that conversation is going to go. But just
be real, be
yourself. Unless you're not a nice person, then be somebody else. If you're a schmuck, I mean, be a totally different person. But okay, so what's the scenario though for you that you would find yourself uncomfortable in? Like, give me an actual thing that happened to you.
An actual thing. Okay. For example, a girl will reach out replying to my story saying, like maybe me doing pull-ups. Okay. Like, oh, those back muscles.
Okay. Has that happened?
Yeah, it's happened before.
Okay. And you didn't know how to respond to that?
No, I just I'm not like actively flirting. Like, I'm just like, oh, I appreciate that. Thanks.
Well, I think that's a good response.
I've been working on it.
Do you wish you would have?
I haven't said that. But okay.
You just say thanks. That's good.
I just say, oh, I appreciate that.
Okay, so you want to know how you can make more out of that?
If I see they train, it's happened once where I've seen, they also train, like, I'll say, like, oh, you look like a Pilates girl, for example, or something. And I'll just keep it rolling. But, like, what I saw AI do was levels above anything I've ever seen.
Like, what do you mean?
Just the way, how smooth it was. It was just so smooth.
All right. Okay.
It was just so smooth.
So what's the situation where you'd want to figure out, okay, how can I turn this into something else? How can I turn this into more than just a friend's thing?
Like maybe I think she's attractive from her Instagram. Okay. I'm like, okay, like usually I'll think, oh, let's do a training session together. Okay.
Have you done that before?
Yeah.
How'd it go?
It went all right. Yeah.
So you had a training session?
Yeah.
I don't think you have any problems. You want to learn from AI.
I don't think so.
I think AI could learn from you.
I appreciate that. Thanks. Yeah, it's just like more of like, it's just really, he's good at Riz.
Oh,
he's good at Riz.
He's got Riz.
He's got Riz, man. It was really good.
Oh my gosh. Okay. Yeah, I don't think you need help. I think you could help people myself. I got this thing here. We talked about this a little bit and I teased it on the air. So in the big show. So I've got a bunch of the biggest blunders in business history. And I asked Adam, I said, what is the biggest mistake ever made in business? And I've got a bunch of these. So you actually got number one.
I got number one.
We talked about this. And do you remember what it was?
It was the Blockbusters? No.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, Blockbusters. Yeah.
So what was it?
Blockbuster failed to buy Netflix for $60 million. It
was $50 million.
$50 million.
Yeah.
And now it's worth
hundreds of billions.
Yeah.
So, and whereas Blockbuster is
done.
Yeah, out of business. There's like a one store that somebody has open, but it's just for tourism, kind of basically. They do rent DVDs and stuff, but I mean, you go to buy T-shirts and say, "Hey, I was at the last Blockbuster," because it is. In fact, there's a documentary on Netflix. I think it's on Netflix.
Oh.
I think it's called The Last Blockbuster.
Oh no, that's one way to just like shut that coffin.
Do you remember what I don't know if you'd know. Do you know that Netflix wasn't always a streaming platform? Do you know what it was before it was a
No.
streaming platform?
What was it?
So here's the thing, and some people should give Blockbuster a little bit of credit for this, because Blockbuster passed on Netflix for $50 million when it was a mail subscription service, and it was just DVDs. So you could have, I forget if it was 5 or 6 DVDs. You could pay for a subscription to Netflix, and you could go on their website, or you could actually, I think you'd also do it on like a paper. You could actually use tick boxes and decide what DVDs, what movies you wanted to receive, or do it online. They would mail you the actual DVDs in these little paper sleeves.
Oh.
You keep them for as long as you wanted, but then when you're done, you mail them back, and you could order 6 more. That was what Netflix was, and that's how they kind of built their empire.
So they were gonna work with. They
wanted Blockbuster to just buy them, and then Blockbuster could have a mail order business. Blockbuster didn't see the value in that. They thought, hey, you're a competitor of ours, but people want to come in. They want to come into a video store and rent. But did you ever rent movies? Do you remember ever going into a store?
I remember not renting. I would buy CDs.
Yeah,
That's
it's
it.
different. It's
I'd
different.
yeah.
But DVDs.
Yeah.
You'd buy DVDs
I'd
as
buy
well?
DVDs.
Okay.
Yeah, and I have like a book of DVDs that I'd zip up.
Yeah, I don't know internationally how much rentals. I don't know if a lot of places rented DVDs, but it was a big thing in the U.S. There was Family Video. There were a bunch of other smaller companies that did this, but yeah, they were mail order, and then suddenly they decided to go streaming. We're going to open this new platform once the internet got fast enough, once broadband came around and people could actually start, because back in the day it took forever to download one video. Once it became a thing technologically, it was like they were off to the races. Blockbuster then tried to make their own streaming service, and they failed miserably. They lost. There was a window of opportunity for them, and they missed it.
They could have done it.
But could they have? I don't know. If they would have bought Netflix when it was a subscription service, would they have turned into a streaming service? Doubt it.
Yeah.
They didn't have the same brains.
Yeah.
Who knows?
True.
Maybe
Bad
the people
leadership.
from Netflix would have used that $50 million or whatever to then develop a streaming platform and kill Blockbuster anyway. Who knows? But that was one. Can you think of any more? I'll give you a hint.
I'll think of maybe without a hint. Let me see if anything comes to mind. Anything big.
I'll say this. BlackBerry. Do you know what a BlackBerry is?
Oh yeah. BlackBerry. They chose not to go touchscreen.
Yes, look at you.
Right.
Good job, dude.
They chose not to go touchscreen. I remember seeing that actually. And they thought, oh, people are going to love that keyboard.
Yeah, they thought people want this tactile thing. You got to touch, I did love that keyboard. I never had a BlackBerry. I had something called a T-Mobile Sidekick, but it was very similar. It was like the screen flipped around. There's this little rubber keyboard.
Nice.
I loved that.
Yeah.
It was so good, but
yeah,
I thought the touchscreen was pretty amazing too. So, and now everything is touch. Everything. I'm on an iPad right now. It's touch. Everything. I don't want to go back to the. Do I want to go back? Maybe.
you wouldn't use the keyboard.
Probably not. No, probably not.
Yeah.
There was a time there where it was like a hybrid. I think even BlackBerry tried it. I never had a BlackBerry, but I think BlackBerry did have a touch screen that you could flip up, and underneath it there was a keyboard, so it was kind of a redundancy. And they thought, oh, it's best of both worlds. It was not. It was not. Poor BlackBerry. From what country is BlackBerry? You remember?
Ooh, BlackBerry, South Korea.
Canada, believe it or not.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
How about if I say this one's really old, and you may not even know this. Coca-Cola. You know what they did?
Coca-Cola. No.
The biggest, one of the biggest, and people still teach this in like business classes and stuff. Yeah, I don't know when it was. It was sometime in the 80s. Coca-Cola decided to change their formula that was the same formula since like, I don't know, the 1930s or whatever. And they said, no, it's new Coke. And it was such a marketing disaster because people loved that drink. Pepsi had come along. It was like the new generation or whatever. And they said, oh, okay, we're going to change the formula. We're going to make it different. And I had it. It was sweeter. But everyone was outraged. How dare you? Because they took it so personally because it's something they grew up with. Like everybody that was alive, if they liked
when was this?
The 80s, like mid 80s, something like that. Yeah.
Huh.
And so
that costed them a lot of money.
Oh my God, they lost so much money. They had to come out and say, sorry, we're never going to do that again. They brought back the original formula. They turned the new Coke, they turned it into Coke 2, which did not do well. It did not stick around for long because it's like, it's weird because I remember thinking it looks like a sequel, Coke 2 or whatever. Yeah. I liked it. I remember liking it because it was sweeter, but yeah, it was just a huge disaster, and they ended up going to the original formula. And now some people argue they think that it's a conspiracy because it got them so much press that they could never have paid for that kind of press because it was such a huge story.
Okay.
But no, it hurt them. It hurt them bad.
Them more.
Yeah.
Huh.
They're still the number one soft drink in the U.S. Actually, number one soft drink is not Coca-Cola. It is.
It's the number one soft drink is not Coca-Cola.
Diet Coke. It is.
Really?
Yeah.
Diet Coke is above.
Yeah.
Huh.
Yeah. It's a health thing. It's just a health thing. And now sodas, soft drinks in general, have taken a real hit. I think not as many people because the sugar. People just don't want...
You know what the CEO said when, like a while ago, I saw a video. He said, we want to get to a stage where we replace milk with Coke. I think he said that once.
Milk with Coke?
Like the amount of time...
I see, yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
how much do you drink milk? But I think they've surpassed that.
Probably now because so many people don't drink milk because they're like, I'm even off milk. I used to love milk. Even skim milk I would have all the time. Now I'm off it. I still have what's the lactose-free milk? It's probably still from a cow. I don't know what they do to it. They do some kind of science.
Yeah. Yeah.
Let me do a couple more. Google. You know what happened there? It's another company.
They didn't buy Firefox?
It wasn't Google's blunder. It was some other company's blunder.
Google is an American
AI
technology company and corporation.
Sorry. This is my Google phone. I have a Google phone. And if you say the G word, he'll sometimes, it's the Google Pixel. That's why.
Well, G word.
Okay, so Yahoo had the opportunity to buy Google for $1 million.
Wow.
$1 million. It is $1 trillion company now. You know Yahoo?
Yeah.
Actually,
I have a Yahoo email.
Do you?
Yeah, believe it or not.
So do I. Wow.
Yeah.
Usually you can tell a person's age by their private email.
My brother went Hotmail. I went Yahoo. My little brother went Gmail. We went all 3 different emails.
I have Gmail. I have Yahoo. My Yahoo is the oldest. And then Gmail is like a new-ish, not new, but newish.
Newest.
Yeah. I remember Gmail, you had to be invited in the beginning.
Oh,
really? You had to get an invite. So you felt special, right? Let's see. In 1998, Yahoo refused to buy Google for $1 million US. And then again, they had another opportunity in 2002 for $5 billion. They said no. Google is now worth, this says Google is now worth over $2 trillion. And Yahoo was sold off a long time ago. It's still around. I'm always worried that they're good because I got emails back to the 1990s on my Yahoo. It's true.
Do you sometimes go back?
Nah. Never
Would
go
you
back.
like to one day?
Never go back, baby. Never go back. Yeah, my Yahoo email is way older than you are. Isn't it funny? Crazy. It's wild.
Crazy.
Because, when I got to college, they're like, oh, you're going to have an email account. I'm like, really? I felt like, wow, this is the future. Because email was so new at the time. Last one, Kodak. You know what Kodak is?
Yeah, Kodak. They were selling cameras.
Yep. What happened to them?
They just, I think the phone camera put them out of business.
Sort of. They invented the first digital camera. What year do you think? Guess a year.
1995.
1975.
Oh.
Invented the first digital camera. This surprised me too. They buried it to protect film sales. So they had the technology. They had a guy in there or a team.
They could have had all the digital camera money.
They could have made the first digital camera. Instead, they said, no, we want to make sure that we keep selling film. And that worked for 20 years or so. But then along came, other companies. And they lost dominance in photography and filed for bankruptcy in 2012. So there you go. A bunch of companies that have lost money, just like Adam has lost my money. All right?
I won't have it lost next week.
Okay. I want you to save the bowl. He's got the bowl out.
I've got the bowl.
Save it.
We'll save it for the next
Save it. Find a new way to invest our money.
Yeah.
Not super, super risky.
I'm disappointed in myself.
I don't want you to go and play in roulette or something in Lebanon. Don't go to June or whatever. All right. But find a way to make some money. we're down now. We're in a hole, but that's okay. It's when we're down we find the true person within us.
If I go down at 10 dirhams, I believe I can find a way to get back to 1,000. That's the belief. That's the strength.
If you can get up to, by the end of this 1 month experiment, because is it next week?
2 weeks.
Okay, here's the thing. And this is a little bit of inside baseball, inside information. We are going to be taking a vacation for a couple of weeks. So we'll be back. We're going to do shows while we're gone, but we'll be back to current shows mid-July, I think. So that is when we're going to decide if we're going to continue with this investing situation. Okay, so you got till mid-July. Next week we'll have another update, but then we won't have an update until mid-July. Now, if you somehow get up to 1,500 dirhams,
okay,
I'll give you another 1,000 dirhams to invest.
Nice.
Okay.
All right.
1,500. Can you do it?
1,500. Can I do 1,500?
Can you get up there? No, I don't want you to. This scares me. This could have been a huge mistake. All right, good luck.
All right. I'll try.
Invest wisely.
Okay.
All right, we'll see you next week.